For the third time in 3 years, a Packers opponent ended their postseason with a score on the final play. Rebecca, it was a familiar position with an unlikely ending.
He might have a chance to make two more big plays with Jamal Charles fumbling twice last week against the Broncos, combined with these rainy weather conditions here tonight against the Chiefs.
But the season of giving has passed, and the NFL playoffs are a season of taking. They face an Arcadia team that's got a similar skill set without the experience. No one in a Raiders uniform has made it past level 3 of the playoffs. Welcome into the green room, where this week we run alongside Mr. James Starks on his 65-yard touchdown run. Let's roll this play on 4th down, and I'm going to show you why this man is the key, John Kuhn. Key block here as we pause it. Cobb's hips are toward the sideline. I could not get through the shoulder-to-shoulder Packers fans. Now the Packers' next opponent is the offseason, and if they can win that fight, they'll be primed for a title shot in 2016. For now, live in Scottsdale, in the green room, live in a chilly Eau Claire at Lambeau Field, live in the University of Phoenix Stadium, Josh Holland, Newsline 9.
Josh Holland introduces us to Amherst senior defensive lineman Tyler Biotish.
Football's it's been kind of like magical to me.
Tyler Biotish's version of magic is more power than illusion. His sleight of hand allows him to get past offensive linemen, and his footwork creates a classic game of now you block me, now you don't.
A lot of guys have the size, but not the mobility. And he's got tremendous feet, and he's got a motor that doesn't stop.
But perhaps his greatest trick is turning his grin off the field.
Tremendous person. You know, he's usually voted the nicest kid in school.
Into a grind on the field.
Let's go! Get down!
Football, it's pretty much when I step on the field, it's like business. You know, I just wanna get it done and, you know, be the best I can be. And if that's the meanest, that's what it's gotta be, I guess.
A big part of being the meanest is a relentless effort, something you can't just pull out of thin air.
He's not going to quit on a play. He chases everybody down, and he doesn't stop. So you have to block him until the whistle blows, because if you don't, he's coming to get you.
Work ethic, off-season speed training, and the wingspan of a 6'4" Biotish led to this.
And that play, I read pass right away, and that's one of my gifts, too. I like to block passes down and knock them down or do whatever I can with them.
If you're 6'3", do you intercept that pass?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
And sometimes I even catch myself being a fan every now and then going, geez, that's a tremendous play. I'm sure next year I'm going to go, wow, I really do miss this guy. So I know we're going to miss him. But
until then, Falcons fans won't miss a single snap from the senior. In Amherst with the Athlete of the Week, Josh Holland, Newsline 9 Sports.
Whatever. If it hourglass is at hourglasses, we're shaking up.
Learning how to speak sailor involves a whole different vocabulary.
Trim. You can take it right off the winch and go to the cabin.
Because of talk like...
Oh, man, we were rounding the leeward mark, and the kite went up, but we had an hourglass. Suddenly, we realized that the guy and the sheet were completely tangled. So finally, we had to get the boat hooks, hook them around the clue, get the clue down, and by that time, everything was in the water, and we were dragging.
And that's bad?
Okay, so the kite is the colorful sail, and the ropes came off, and they were just waving like a flag, and people are like, oh, okay.
Got it. Kind of.
At first, it's completely scary and foreign and overwhelming, and then you're sort of like, I've got it a little. I've got enough to not kill us, and then it becomes muscle memory. It becomes automatic. It becomes your language.
A sailboat's classroom teaches ordinary water lovers to be bilingual, and that versatility of speech becomes vital when weather tests a crew.
You can break equipment. People could get hurt if it's windy, but when it goes right, it's like an orchestra.
So next time someone tells you not to talk like a sailor, you tell them.
I work the jib, like winches and jibs.
They'll hook on eventually. Learning a new language on Lake Michigan, Josh Holland, Newsline 9 Sports.
This is Newsline 9 Sports.
Wisconsin's running game has struggled this year. Losing the likes of Hayden Beagle for a stretch and Dane Volz for the season doesn't help the rush, but getting starting running back Corey Clement to return, it does. Let's head out to San Diego. The two teams facing off close to home for USC. Third quarter, the Badgers are up 6 against the Trojans, and Jack Sitchie had himself a holiday party at the Holiday Bowl. Sack on first down. Now next play, second down, second sack. They're not even blocking the guy. Well, on third down, they kind of try a little bit to block him, but it really doesn't work, and Sitchie runs down Cody Kessler for his third sack in 3 plays. Ridiculous, and he's not done. Fourth quarter, same score. Cody Kessler looking till he finds something he likes, stepping up in the pocket all kinds of time. Then a dart to Darius Rogers for 7 points from 7 yards out. Trojans lead by 1. And late fourth, Trojans still up one. Rafael Gaglianone, perfect from inside 30 this season. That ain't going to change. 23-21, Badgers up. Jack Sitchie coming back, helping force an interception on the second to final drive. The Badgers stop USC on consecutive drives to end the game and the 6-decade drought. Every game Wisconsin has played this year has come down to the wire. And they lost a couple against Iowa and Northwestern. But to win the last one and to win it on a Gaglianone field goal just felt like the way it should have ended.
This is Newsline 9 Sports.
Heading into week 2 against Seattle, the Packers might just lead the league in injuries to starting players. Morgan Burnett sat out week 1. Sam Barrington's out for the season. Now Brian Bulaga is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, according to NFL.com, after undergoing surgery on his left knee. In his stead is Don Barclay, who stepped in at right tackle with the first group Thursday after Bulaga dropped out. He also took over for the injured Bulaga in 2013, starting 15 games at right tackle, including the playoffs. But Barclay missed all of 2014 with a torn ACL, and he struggled early on in this preseason. Real Pointers wear pink, and the pink paid off for Stevens Point against Coe College. Second quarter, Pointers up 10-0. Kyle Larson rolls to his left. He's got a big tight end rolling with him. That's Paul Schwartz. Pointers go up 17. Go nuts, big fella. Later on in the quarter, Cohawks trimming the lead. Josh Rikers escapes pressure to his right, looking for the receiver. But DJ Harris, with a Pointers pick in pink, sets up the offense. Ensuing drive, handoff left side, Christian Almonte. He says those fateful words, baby, I just need some space. Takes a space inside, 54 yards. For the touchdown, Point led by as much as 17. They go on to win 34-31. On the court, the defending national champion Pointers basketball team faced an early season test hosting 16th-ranked Hope. Now, Point hadn't lost a game on its home court since last November. For the second half, Pointers down 16. Stephen Pelko for drives. He misses, but Zach Gadecki cleans up the mess, gets fouled, finishes the three-point play. Gadecki had a career-high 17. Pointers close to within 10, but Hope up and under from Harrison Blackledge extends the lead back out to 12. That would be the final margin, 68-56. And the men's hockey team back at KB Willett Arena against top 10 St. Norbert's, and boy, did the Green Knights get going early. Late first, Riley Christensen comes in from behind the play, sneaks the puck past Jesse Gordichuk. Knights lead 2-0 after 1. Next period, Chris Rigas dumps it back to Roman Yukin. Top shelf reservations. St. Norbert goes up as big as 4-0 and wins by 3. First loss of the season for Point. And here's your obligatory puck drop between the Yellow Jackets and Pointers women's. Early second, Ali Biagini sneaks it through. Her second goal in 2 games. But that wouldn't be enough. That was the only one in the first 2 periods for the Pointers. They gave up 2 goals to end the third. UWSP goes on to tie it 2-2 in overtime. And the Packers offense has been in a post-bye week slumber, but Aaron Rodgers' ailing shoulder won't keep him off the field on Sunday. Eddie Lacy will also be back. He's probable to play, but receiver depth will continue to be an issue with Jared Abbrederis out and Ty Montgomery questionable to play as the team gets ready for division-leading Minnesota. Still, Rodgers thinks his team can once again hit its stride. And Wisconsin native Matt Kenseth heads into the Sprint Cup chase tomorrow, tied for the lead in points, and he took this Chicagoland track tonight to tune up in the Xfinity Series. Beautiful setup in Chicago here. Gorgeous view from up top. 24 laps to go. Matt Kenseth in the 20 car takes the inside lane from Kyle Busch.
Cars on the track are going to play into this.
Now Kyle Busch coming back. As you can see the graphic in the bottom of the screen, Joe Gibbs Racing led all but 12 laps, including Daniel Suarez, Kenseth, and Busch.
Not let him do just what he did.
Now heading to lap 199. John West Townley gets caught between Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth, but Kenseth gets underneath. This sets up a really weird stretch, the weirdest I've seen in quite some time. Kenseth and Busch do the do-si-do. Now it's Busch back in front to take the lead. And Busch wins the Furious 700. That's an apt name for the race, Furious. Now from the track, on over to the golf course. But not for a round of 18. It was the 59th annual running of the Bill Smiley Invitational Cross Country Meet. The invite brought over 1,800 runners from across the state. The main event of the day, the boys Division I race. A top 4 would spread the field quickly, but coming out of the woods, Medford and La Crosse Central pulled away, and Jared Rudolph, one of those 2, would pass again for the first place finish with a 16-16. We'll move over to the Division I varsity girls, who would also get off Pretty fast start. That's kind of the point. Eau Claire Memorial's Aubrey Roberts gets a jump on her competition by the first mile. Sun Prairie and Pulaski in hot pursuit, but Roberts would hold the lead for the win with a time of 18:18. Behind her, Mackenzie Van Wee crossed the line for a second-place finish. Miss Roberts.
It's great to bring the team out.
This is Newsline 9 Sports.
Wisconsin's running game has struggled this year. Losing the likes of Hayden Beagle for a stretch and Dane Volz for the season doesn't help the rush, but getting starting running back Corey Clement to return, it does. All Clement needs is the defense to get him the ball, and second quarter, Chris Laviano looking deep left sideline. Joe Schobert, usually rushing the pass, now defending it, off his helmet, caught by Tanner McAvoy. Watch it in slow motion. Plunks Schobert on the back of the helmet using his noggin, and so is McAvoy. Heads up play, keeps his feet in bounds, and now Badgers play field position, then get it to Clement. Hesitation, acceleration. For Clement, he did it all day. This his second touchdown, a 21-yarder. Well, why not go for 3, Corey? Hesitation, then bust through the hole once again. It's a simple formula for Corey. It was a simple formula for the Badgers. They rushed for 209 yards and 5 scores on the day, and they run away from Scarlet Knights behind Corey Clement 48-10.
For the third time in 3 years, a Packers opponent ended their postseason with a score on the final play, and for the second time in 6 years, Arizona accomplished that same task at home against the Packers. The lead up to that last play was more memorable than the final moment itself. A second Hail Mary this season, followed by a page out of the Packers playbook from Carson Palmer to Larry Fitzgerald. Those plays set the Cardinals up to take their spot in the NFC Championship and left Packers fans in awe of what they just saw.
Watching Aaron Rodgers not once but twice escape the Cardinals and drive them downfield was amazing. Literally, when he made that last catch in the end zone, I swear to God, I almost fainted.
I believed it was going to happen. My son-in-law and grandson are here, and I told them, don't give up.
Oh, it was so up and down. It was quite a roller coaster. I can't believe how Green Bay made it such a close game. I was really happy with the way it came out. Even though we didn't win, we showed up.
Packers head coach Mike McCarthy said this game was a symbol of the 2015 regular season, encountering adversity and then fighting to overcome it. Green Bay won that first fight in regulation before Arizona countered with a knockout punch in the final overtime round. Now the Packers' next opponent is the offseason, and if they can win that fight, they'll be primed for a title shot in 2016. In Glendale, Arizona, Josh Holland, Newsline 9.